times can be tough. When there's no one there to catch or fall.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Matter Socrates coming at you again with another commentary, and today we have the long-awaited, not really, I always say that, but it's always a lie, the long-awaited return of one of my series that I only did one video on, but it actually was pretty popular. Got, I think, about like 40 views or something. And that was the Thoughts with Socrates series. And I don't know how often I'm going to make this series, but I do know that it's always going to be something that I sit down and just try and do in one take, just kind of get all of my thoughts off of my head. And I'm going to try and do it all in one take without too much editing. So there may be some spaces in between. You know, you might hear a few seconds of just blank, just, silence. That's just me trying to collect my thoughts just so I can, try and bring the best thoughts from my brain onto this video. So with the gameplay you guys are actually watching in the background is, I believe, the gameplay where I dropped 50 on Noah J and maybe possibly Mochilla. Not sure if Mochilla was actually in the lobby, pro player Mochilla, but for sure 100% that was the real Noah J in the lobby. I checked, all verified, mass checked out. That is the real Noah J, and I ended up dropping 50 on him. That's just the primary gameplay. I don't know how long this commentary is going to be. So for sure, 100%, there might be an extra piece of gameplay in the back end, but if it is, it'll just be something random. The bulk of the gameplay is going to be that Noah J, me dropping 50 on him. But today, I definitely wanted to get into my thoughts on World War II. So far, we're about, I'd say, exactly a month in. I believe it dropped on November 4th, so we're exactly a month into this game. And I kind of want to get some of my thoughts off of my head as to my thoughts on the game and what they could possibly try to do better. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So to start off, we're a month into the game, Call of Duty World War II, and I must say this is a game that I absolutely enjoy 100%. I enjoy playing it. I enjoy playing it for extended periods of time. It's a game that I could see myself playing for pretty much the entire year. Like, of course, sometimes I still have Black Ops 3 downloaded. I just played it earlier today. I'm recording this on December 4th. So I just played Black Ops 3 earlier today. Got a nasty almost 40 kill gameplay on my first game back. So I might be posting some Black Ops 3 videos here and there. But pretty much the bulk of the gameplay this year is going to come from Call of Duty World War II. But I must say, without a doubt, the thoughts from me are that Call of Duty World War II is a good game, but there are some things holding it back from being a great game, right? First of all, I want to say that the streaks, for how high they are in terms of actual a score you need to earn those streaks, I don't exactly think that all of the streaks are very good. Like, and we'll get into this, but it takes 17 kills for a ball turret gunner, when in any other Call of Duty, I think it would have taken 11. And that's just strictly if you base it off kills. Now, of course, there's score streaks, so you're supposed to play the objective in there every once in a while. But, me personally, I'm not always the biggest objective guy. I do try to play it. I try to stay conscious of it, but naturally, I'm just not the biggest objective player. That's just not my game style. That's just not how I play. But for sure, 100%, for how large how long it takes to get these streaks in terms of score, just in score in general. I mean, just think about it. That's still 17 kills. That's 11 kills plus, if you're playing hardpoint, that's 11 kills plus like six hills captured, right? You have to stay alive, get 11 kills, plus on top of that, be the first one or trade out kills and get 100 points from capturing that hardpoint objective. So that is that does seem kind of like a little bit unbalanced in the sense that maybe for how good they are, it's actually overpriced. Like you have to go above and beyond to try and get some of those score streaks. Now, here we're going to get on to my biggest gripe. If you guys watched any of my Modern Warfare Remastered gameplay or ever watched me stream Modern Warfare Remastered, you will know 100% without a doubt my favorite game mode to play is Domination. And in this game, I'm very deterred from Dom as a game mode in order to play. Because me personally, I like playing Dom because in the older CODs, you could pump stomp, you could rack up the kills, and you get a lot of XP. But this year, you get about half the XP. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you've been living under a rock for the past month, Domination in this game is only 50 points. In almost every other Call of Duty, it's been 100 points as far as I can remember. It's been 100 points per kill, which not only means 100 points per score, but 100 points for XP. So a lot of people like me who enjoy Domination as a game mode are very deterred from playing it, or actually feel like in a way that they're trying to deter us from playing the game mode. Because with that being said, it takes 50 kills. And I've literally seen a clip, and I'm pretty sure if you've been active in the Call of Duty community whatsoever, you've also seen this clip from Birdman. There's a man who gets a 5-piece on a hill, or a 5-piece on a flag, gets 5 kills on a flag, with all those objective points racked up, still does not have enough points to earn a recon aircraft. Like, are you kidding me? That's pretty insane. That's kind of very unfair in my opinion. Like, it should never be like that. If you get 5 kills, you should get a recon aircraft. That's how it should be. It shouldn't matter what, and I get it. You guys want us to play the game. You guys want us to play the objective more in Dom. But Domination, if you think about it, has never been kind of like an objective heavy mode unless you're playing it competitively. Domination has always been get 2 flags and spawn trap for as long as possible. Now, when you have that spawn trap set up, that's when you get those kill streaks going, right? In this game, I feel like it's very easy to spawn trap, but because it's 50 points, nobody's attempting for it. Everybody wants those kill streaks just as bad, but they know that the easiest way of getting them is to push every spawn and to get every flag captured. Now, in my opinion, if you want a game based on playing the objective, that's great. You did your job, but that's never how Domination was played ever in Call of Duty. And I don't understand why this year, out of all years, is the year that they decided to change that, right? Black Ops 2 in the very beginning, it was 75 points per kill. And I'd be perfectly okay with that, to be completely honest with you. I'd be perfectly okay to sit there and say, okay, 75 points per kill in Domination. That's perfectly fine with me. There's nothing wrong with that. Anything is better than 50. 50 points in Domination when I get a kill. It kind of feels like Sledgehammer's kind of laughing at me a little bit. Like, yes, you got the kill, but it actually means nothing in the grand scheme of things. Like, at this point, I'd rather be playing War, where the games last longer, I rack up more kills, and you're forced into the objective play. And I know the kills are only 40 points of War, but the game's so much longer, you get so many more kills in War. And it almost feels like War is a more viable game mode to play if you're looking to rank up incredibly fast. Now, with that being said, I'm not a guy who enjoys War in the slightest. I use War as a means to get my my camo challenges done, right? It's easy to get bloodthirsties. For the snipers, it's easier to get, especially if you play Operation Breakout, it's very easy to get headshots on the bridge when people are trying to build up the bridge. It's very easy to throw on an ACOG on an M1A1 or an M1 Garand. Just sit there and go to town and get headshots all day. That's what War is to me, is the objective, or not the objective game mode, but the camo grinding game mode. Like, if you have a camo, if you're going for camo challenges, odds are, once you get past that 100 kill mark, or the 100 headshot mark, unless you're using certain weapons like the M1A1, you're going to be playing War, right? There's a lot more opportunities to get those bloodthirsties. You're not really in there for the XP at the end of the day. Even though you're going to rack up a lot of XP, you're not really in there. Right, when I got my Sniper's Diamond, I used War as the means to get the bloodthirsty challenge done. Right, that's what War is to me, is the camo challenge game mode. That, and people who are trying to hit nasty clips, to try and enter in, you know, their red recruitment montage or whatever, or trying to get into phase this year. Like, everybody goes and plays War, right? Domination is my favorite game mode, and this honestly feels like I take this very much to heart when I say this, or when they did this, because Domination has always been my favorite game mode. It's the game mode that I've always wanted to play. No matter what, I've always loved playing Dom over any other game mode. If you look at my Black Ops 3 stats, you'll probably see I played Dom more than any other game mode. Now, the only game mode that would come close was TDM, because TDM in that game was very fast-paced, very good. Me personally, I racked up a lot of kills in TDM, so it was very easy for me to sit there and to try and play TDM a little bit over Dom every once in a while. But if you look at my MWR stats, I almost exclusively played Dom when I played pubs. Domination is my favorite game mode, and this really took a hard hit for me when they decided to make Domination 50 points. Like, I just don't understand it. And the thing that bothers me most about it is Michael Condrey on Twitter, and it said that the community voted and they prefer 50 points over 100. I don't know about you guys, but I was never a part of any vote. I never had, and if he's referring to the after game little thing that said, hey, did you enjoy the last match you played? Literally, I started pressing yes on that because one of my friends told me that he pressed yes 3 times and got 3 supply drops from it. Like, he got a supply drop every time he pressed yes. That was the only reason I pressed yes, was to see if I'd actually get a supply drop. In other words, I'd probably press skip or no. And the statistics have shown in other games that have done that when people press yes, it's probably because they went positive and won the game, and if they went negative and lost, they probably pressed no because they didn't have fun. They were getting shit on. They weren't having fun. They were going, double negative, getting destroyed by pub stars. So I don't understand how, if that's what he's referring to, how that is his means to justify that domination should be 50 points over 100. I just don't get it. And I don't know if you guys watch Nero Cinema. I'm a big fan of Nero Cinema. I watch almost every video he puts out. I'm a big fan of his. He makes some great content, and he actually discussed on something he saw on, I believe, Reddit, about a polling booth in the headquarters, and I think that's a great idea. Like, one thing I will say about Sledgehammer that they're doing better than some of the other developers in the past is they're actually listening to community feedback, and they actually care, right? They actually take the time out of their day to care and to respond to us. If it's constructive criticism, if you go at Michael Condrey on Twitter, if he responds, he's probably going to try and roast you back. But when you send him constructive criticism, they actually sound like they actually listen and take it into effect in their heads, and they say, okay, right, the community is upset with this. But what I don't understand is how everything I've seen, except for the rare, I'd say probably on the ratio of about how many comments I see this, I'd say probably about 10 to 15 people are in favor for every tweet I see of domination being 100 points. And then there's that rare one person who says, no, 50's better. And then he just gets destroyed in the Twitter mentions. Like, it's unbelievable. So I don't know what he's basing his facts off of. I really think that if he had an argument that actually held water with this, like if he could show us proof that the community actually prefers 50 over 100, I would accept it. And I'd say, you know what, it's done, it's whatever. Domination is going to be 50 points. As soon as I'm done grinding, as soon as I probably hit Master Prestige, I'm probably going to play Dom. Because at that point, level 1,000, I'll get there eventually, right? I play this game so much that I'll get there eventually. But to me, I play Dom not only because I love it, but because you can rack up the XP, and you can't do that in this game. And that's what, and honestly, it feels like Dom lobbies are at an all-time record low. I don't know about you guys, but that's what it feels like to me. I get into a Dom game, and the actual lobby time is longer than any other game mode, because I just don't feel like enough people are playing Dom, because they don't justify it, right? People who play pubs are usually there to do one of two things: grind camo challenges or get XP. And you can't do that in Dom. You can't get XP. And my biggest question, and I'm going to let this go after I make this point, my biggest question is, what is Michael Condrey's actual proof that the community actually prefers 50 points? If he can show me if he could show the community legitimate proof that the majority of us want 50 points over 100, which I just cannot possibly believe is true, then I'll shut up about it. I'll deal with it, and I'll eventually go back to Dom at some point. But until he does that, I'm going to sit here and wonder, okay, well, why? Why is Dom 50 points a kill? Now let's go ahead on to some other things. Weapon balancing. At the beginning of the game, the weapons were very, I wouldn't say unbalanced, but there were some clear favorites, right? At the beginning of the game, I don't know what it was, but day 1 and day 2, the Thompson, the M1928, I just refer to it as a Thompson because that's what it is. The Thompson felt like a god gun, right? I don't know if you guys experienced this if you use the Thompson day 1 or day 2, but literally it felt like I could not die with the Thompson in my hands if I tried, unless I got like double or triple teamed. Like, the Thompson just felt like an absolute monster. And I don't know if they did a little hot fix to change something about it, or if it's just me sucking, but honestly, I feel like the Thompson isn't as good, or maybe ever since I started using the Wilco variant, because I ever since I got the Wilco variant, and if you don't know, if you're not levels, I believe it's 6 social score yet, you get an epic Thompson for getting to level 6 social score. And after that, after I received that weapon, I didn't use the regular Thompson at all. I used the Wilco. And ever since I used the Wilco, I honestly felt like the Thompson wasn't as good. But today I switched back to the normal base variant of the Thompson, and it felt just as good as it did on launch. So I don't know, maybe it's a feel thing for me, but the Thompson just doesn't feel quite as good as it did on launch day. And also for whatever reason, come launch day, the bar was absolutely insane, right? If for some reason, if you got this game within the last week or so, you didn't have the joy, and I say that sarcastically, you didn't have the joy of playing day one and just playing against 5 to 6 bars on the other team. Like it was honestly almost to the point where it was unplayable. The bar was absolutely overpowered on day one, and I'm glad, they honestly, they didn't leave it like the BAL in Advanced Warfare. They said, hey, look, it's overpowered, we're going to fix it. And honestly, it's still a really good AR, but it's nowhere near what I think or what it felt like it was on day one. The recoil you can definitely feel the recoil now. On day one, that thing was a straight laser beam and they toned down the rate of fire, but then you just throw on rapid fire, and that just fixes that whole situation. So honestly, the weapon balancing at the beginning of the year, at the beginning of the game, was not all that good. But now that the bar has been nerfed and some other ARs have been buffed, and the shotguns have been buffed, and I still think that they maybe need to buff a couple SMGs here and there. Like I definitely think the grease gun could benefit from a little buff, a little damage buff, maybe not too much, or maybe a little rapid fire, maybe a little rate of fire buff, because that thing just shoots so slow, man. It's unbelievable. It's almost unusable without rapid fire, unless you have really good aim and you just hit the first 4 shots. That thing is unusable without rapid fire. It hurts, and because coming from a Call of Duty World War II, a game that I played as a kid and loved very much, the grease gun was like, for me, the grease gun was all I used in Call of Duty World War II, Call of Duty 2. The grease gun was just like the gun for me, right? Everybody has that gun that they remember when they first played their first Call of Duty, or one of the first Call of Duties that catches their attention. Everybody remembers this one specific gun. Like for me, 100%, I played COD 4. The first gun that ever stuck out in my head was the AK-74U. For whatever reason, the AK-74U, because I had so much fun using it, and it was one of the guns that I started really doing well with when I first started playing Call of Duty. The AK-74U will probably forever be my favorite gun in the Call of Duty franchise in any shape or form, right? And in Call of Duty Black Ops, I love the 74U in that game, and in Call of Duty COD 4, I love the 74U in that game, and I honestly, there's some talks about Treyarch maybe possibly bringing the next one to a Vietnam era game, and if there's a 74U in that game, I would lose it. I love the 74U so much. To me, that's the iconic weapon in my mind. When I think, best gun in COD for me, it's the 74U without a doubt. You can't tell me any differently. But to get back on topic, I definitely think some guns could use a buff, and some other ones could still withstand. Like I still think the bar's pretty good. I don't know what else they could do to tone it down without making it completely not usable in a setting, or make it just kind of like trash. Right? You don't want to take a gun that's overpowered and just make it the worst gun in the game. That's the wrong way to go about it. You kind of want to balance it to where even if it's one of the better ARs, there's still some competition. And I think the bar is there, but there are some other guns in this game where I feel like they could definitely benefit from a nerf. So this video is getting pretty long, almost 20 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. This is Thoughts with Socrates, Call of Duty World War II edition, a month in. My thoughts, my feelings. And I just kind of laid it all out on the line and did it all in one take. So if you guys enjoyed, comment, rate, subscribe. Don't forget, if you're in the market for a controller, Cinch Gaming has some good ones. Honestly, they're pretty much the same thing as Scuff, just buttons instead of paddles. So if you think you would enjoy buttons, you should definitely give Cinch a try, and you could also use code GSG for 5% off of all Cinch Gaming products, and all the support is appreciated from all of us here at GSG. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this commentary up, and check out all the links in the description. Been streaming a lot lately. Make sure to follow me on Twitter. Make sure to follow our new. There's gonna be 2 new links in the description that you're probably not gonna recognize. We'll get into that in a different video. I bet for sure 100%. But that being said, it was good to just kind of get this all off my chest. Just kind of lay it out on the line. Kind of put my opinions and my thoughts out there. And if you guys have any differing thoughts, be respectful. Put them down in the comments, but be respectful about it. Let's not turn this into like a guerrilla warfare kind of comment section. Be respectful about it. Respect other people's opinions, and I'm interested in what you guys have to say. So, with that being said, I think this commentary is long overdue to end. So I'm just gonna end it here, and hope you guys have a great day. We'll see you later. Peace.
Taking C. Control all objectives. Hold the line. Losing objective Anton. Counter recon is airborne. Engaging enemy aircraft. The day is ours.